What the f***? I slept for 12 hours and my parents thought I died. Like, my funeral was being planned. Oh boy. Oh geez, oh man, I wonder what subreddit this one could be from. What is up, my aesthetic boys? It's Fresh back with another video now, totally unrelated to the video. I love the holiday season, and I would love to hear what your guys' favorite part of the holiday season is in the comments below. Now, without further ado, let's get into the video. I have 4 older cousins who are alpha. They keep hitting their friends' sisters, but got rejected, and then when I was invited to go with them, they can't believe that the girl was automatically talking to me and flirting at me. Haha, I always ignore her, but still chasing me. I'm a Sigma, by the way. Look, I'm just saying. Maybe they should start enforcing YouTube's 13-year-old age requirement. Sure, I'd have less cringy content for videos like this, but on the plus side, there would be less cringy content for videos like this. I don't even have a GED. Dropped out at 16. Was making $280K at my peak as VP of technology in my mid-20s before branching off and starting my own thing. But I was on a computer since 3 years old and could fully take one apart and build it back together by the time I was 9. Spent literally all of my days tinkering. My parents almost got in trouble when my 4th grade teacher saw me with half of the skin of my middle finger burnt off. Luckily, he was a techie too and understood when I explained it was from a soldering iron, but told me that he'll pretend he didn't see it that one time, but if he ever sees anything like that again, then he legally has to report it or lose his job. Which is when my disdain for authority in the public education system and later on, all large institutions with cluelessly implemented blanket rules started. I've made it a point to not get a GED until I net 7 digits in a year, and then get a perfect score on it. If that ever happens, that'll be my giant f*** you to the school system. The VP of technology? All of it? Now, jokes aside, this post is so confusing. Mans went from saying his teacher was like the one bright spot of his childhood, an understanding mentor willing to potentially risk employment to help him out, and the lesson that he took from that was that he wants to enact some kind of vengeance against the public school system as a whole because a teacher was nice to him. Also, that's definitely not how mandated reporting works, but still, because a teacher was nice to him? So we got ourselves a little cheese board here, and the caption goes, I don't know what's the best illustration of perfect parenting, but my 10-year-old daughter suddenly appeared last night with this perfect assortment of my favorite cheese, favorite crackers, and favorite olives, all perfectly presented on a little board. I thought this would make you happy, Dada, she declared. Her child training is complete. Congrats on your graduation, Elise. So aside from the fact that that's way too much cheese for the number of crackers included, I could be inclined to believe that this was real if literally anybody, and I mean anybody, other than Piers Morgan had posted it. 1 star. Absolutely disgusted with the service I received from service advisor Tracy. I came in for an oil change and without saying a word, oh, sorry. Okay. I was reading ahead there. I came in for an oil change and without saying a word, she kicked my 2-year-old across the room. Horrible service. Tracy fucking service manager Tracy comes in out of nowhere, fucking drop kicks my child across the room. I didn't know what to say. I was afraid she was gonna kick me too. Like, jokes aside, how anyone writes this stuff and thinks that it falls even in the realm of believability is just beyond me. Holy shit, I'm Madman. Yesterday, some jackass bullies decided to start ganging up on me. Now keep this in mind, I'm pretty strong. One night we were going on our late shift. Yeah, we have morning 8 a.m. shifts and late 2 p.m. shifts. After school, they started a fight. One grabbed a stick and stabbed me with it and causing light bleeding. I, the literal heavy beast, I shrug it off and the guy that poked me gets the death stare. I literally disarm and rock his shit with the same stick he stabbed me with. I go home and I got medical help. I was let go out of school for like 1 week. Sheesh. That was mad. Yeah, not to flex, but I too have recovered from some light bleeding, as you would say, in my day. I think everyone has. Everybody's got to, like, I don't know, scraped their knee at some point, and I doubt anybody else has tried to take a week off from school to recover from what would most accurately be described as a light abrasion. Me at Walgreens. I want a chocolate cake. Cashier, why don't you buy it? They're right there. Me, I don't have to buy something just because I want it. I have free will. I choose to go on with my life. That's what makes me a grown-up. Wow, me towards the shoppers. You all don't have to buy anything out of impulse. You all have free will. Customers, laughing. Attention Walgreens shoppers, you don't have to buy anything, especially things you don't need. You have autonomy. You are all capable of making practical choices. Make them. Then I turned back to the cashier. I just lost you guys a ton of business. Then I walked into the wrong side of the sliding doors. Yeah, everybody's laughing. They're chuckling nervously because a stranger at Walgreens just started yelling at them. Who knows what's going to happen next? And if you really could exercise that free will, why didn't you freely will yourself to keep your chocolate cake desires all on your own instead of yelling at a Walgreens cashier, that's right, a store employee, who, when asked a question about a product, was just trying to help you get said product? But hey, you do you, I guess. Perverted child. Bad mom. Okay, so I was walking home one day and I saw somebody run into my house with a... Okay. You know what? I'm not gonna read this one. Basically, it's from r/entitled parents, and 99% of all posts on that site are completely made up. So made up that I actually made a documentary on the guy who founded the subreddit and then never released it for various reasons. But the point is, the whole thing is BS. There's a reason why I haven't made a video from that subreddit since I want to say April, maybe, of 2019, and I don't plan on returning to that subreddit anytime in the near future. I don't know why everyone thinks it's disgusting to fart in class. I'd rip ass and study all in high school, and girls love me for being open about it and making everybody laugh. Alexa, how do you downvote a Reddit post in a YouTube video? Caught someone at a table over from me in a coffee house drawing me. Kept noticing the guy looking up then scribbling, so I had a cheeky lean forward. Oh, look at me, cheeky, I'm British. Anyway, I had a cheeky lean forward and there was me on my phone. He smiled, signed it, closed the pad, and walked out. It's the second time this has happened this year. Very flattering, but very odd. Now, I don't know who needs to hear this, but you don't need to make up stories about strangers drawing you portraits in Starbucks to feel good about how you look or to tell others that you feel good about how you look. Those two concepts can totally exist independently. I promise. Me when a spirit came to me in a dream and told me his Snapchat password, and it was right, so I logged in and found out he was talking to his ex again. Oh wait, I think I get what's going on here. It's one of those TikToks that isn't actually supposed to be taken literally, it's just a euphemistic way of glorifying toxic behavior. From that perspective, sure, I definitely believe that it happened. Dear neighbor, you just moved into this neighborhood a year ago, and I wanted to give you time to correct this problem on your own, but you're apparently too inconsiderate to do so. Every day this week, when the weather has been nice and windows are open, you proceed to let your small child run free in your backyard and laugh and giggle and carry on without end. This is very disruptive for my 2 dogs and my bird who sits next to the window and like to look into your yard. Perhaps you could ask him to tone it down a bit, or at least limit his outside time to 15 to 20 minutes a day so my dogs can be outside without seeing him running around. If this kind of behavior persists, I will call the police. Now, this is essentially clickbait, and not particularly new or engaging bait either. It's just the kind of thing that exists solely for internet listicle sites like BuzzFeed or 9gag to drive empty, thoughtless, vapid traffic, a simple variation on a much older post style where, at least 10 years ago, they may have at least had the decency to handwrite the fake no. The way I learned to deal with bullies is through fear and manipulation, so I just spread rumors so horrible they became suicidally depressed. I also knew how to defend myself, so if a physical confrontation arose, I'd bring their wrist to before the point of breaking in a joint lock and tell them to choose. Either let this go, or I break your wrist, then every bone in your body. People thought I was a genuine sociopath. I'm not, but I can have an ice-cold, merciless heart when I need to. I mean, they tortured me for nearly a decade. Did they really think I wouldn't snap? Nice does not equal wimpy. It's important to learn the value of fear at a young age because assholes don't respect kindness. Now, I don't know how to tell you this, but you're the bad guy here in like most of the ways. Emotional abuse to the point of serious mental health deterioration, even potential self-harm, physical threats and actions, these are about as clear as it comes. You can call yourself a sociopath or not a sociopath however much you want. You can justify the behavior however you want, but it doesn't change the fact that you're doing some pretty fucked up shit. Guess whose 3-year-old can do basic math? That's right, mine. Literal genius, I tell you. The fact that he can tell time, can count to I don't even know now. I know he recognizes all the numbers effortlessly until thousands, can sign all the ABCs, count to 10 in 5 different languages. He can read books himself, like, what? Oh, he can count to 1,000? So can I. Fucking dumbass 3-year-old stuck on his ABCs. Come back to me when you've graduated college, then we can talk about being impressed. Ironically though, some people would actually leave responses like that, and regardless, parents flexing their toddlers' accomplishments on social media is always a strange one. When you tell a guy to shut the fuck up and sit down, the flight attendants literally fed me and moved me to first class. I win. I mean, if there was an open seat and they legitimately helped the flight attendants with a bad situation, I could see this happening. Did this particular thing definitely happen? No, not necessarily. I'm just saying that flight attendants treating passengers who help them really nicely is by no means out of the realm of possibility. Dear neighbors, I hope this note finds you well. I feel like it is my duty to inform you that because our son Chris successfully accomplished his grade goals for the semester, that he is getting the drum set that was promised him. With that said, he will be practicing daily between the hours of 3 and 7 p.m., which sounds like a very long time, but he's very passionate. Trust us that we are going to be just as annoyed as you. Truthfully, we did not expect him to pull off the 3.7 GPA or higher goal, but the fucker pulled it off. Anyway, please reach out to us if the noise ever becomes too unbearable. Here's some tequila to help bear the pain. Please call anytime. The things we do for our kids, LOL. Kindest regards, and the rest of the picture is cut off, but it doesn't matter because this one is kind of doubly false, which is wild because not only did the whole letter obviously not happen, the whole post didn't happen. This is just an ad for the tequila, a tequila made by the Jerry guys, or more accurately, a tequila marketed by the Jerry guys. That's right, the guys who got into a little bit of trouble for actively stealing jokes and content, just straight up wholesale ripping other people's jokes and making a ton of money on it. The ones involved with Firefest, hell, their logo is literally ripped off from somebody else's artwork. They also actively delete comments and block people who are critical of anything they do. Now, those are guys who I would definitely trust to make a quality $50 bottle of tequila.